So this seems like a really important thing.
True professionals like this who represent what we are in every single market.
There are opportunities out there, and you just have to grab it.
But a moment like that, where you realize you really do touch people's lives, it's a good feeling.
I mean, it gives me so much joy.
Yeah.
Watching or giving somebody the keys to a house.
Yeah.
And saying, here, welcome to your new home.
CNG Media.
Hey everyone, this episode is in collaboration with Robert Graham, featuring styles from the Short Hills store in New Jersey. Enjoy the episode. Welcome to Vino with Vito, and today we got Mark Pasuco. Okay, Mark with a C, by the way.
Mark with a C. Mark Anthony, by the way.
Oh, Mark Anthony.
Mark Anthony.
Wow, Mark Anthony Pasuco. Last week we had another guy who said his middle name. What was it? Nick?
Ricardo.
Ricardo.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'm Vito Contuzzi.
Vito.
But today we have Mark. Mark is a good friend of mine. Mark came from Wall Street many, many years ago.
Yes.
And we're going to talk. He does a lot of real estate. We're going to talk about real estate. But today, look. I got my new shirt on.
Oh, that is
limited edition.
There you go.
What do you guys think?
I mean, look at the buttons. That's like a shade of purple and everything.
Look at that.
Listen, I went deep in my closet for this, and that's the most color I could find. I mean,
Limited edition Robert Graham.
All
We
right.
got a Robert Graham holder, and today we got a nice bottle of Justin Cabernet Sauvignon.
ooh, okay. Timberlake? Or no?
No, not
Probably.
Justin Timberlake. So let's not forget, we got the Wizard.
Who's
The wizard. I'm the wizard.
Oh, you're the
That's
wizard.
my nickname.
Chris
the
is
wizard.
the Wizard.
Okay.
Chris is the
Is
Wizard.
that like the Wizard of Wall Street? Like the Wolf of
don't know.
Wall Street? Or
I
no?
have no
Where'd the
idea.
wizard come from? You're just really smart? Okay.
I guess I'm smart. I don't know.
He's really smart for being 18 years old. Look at him.
18.
Oh, shit.
Are you?
I shouldn't have said that.
Oh. Well, so am I. I mean, it's amazing.
You bought a
man.
Cabernet?
I bought a Cabernet
No
instead
Italian
of
wine?
Italian wine today. Everybody's Italian, so I figured we'll try a Cabernet from California.
I am a big wine connoisseur.
Are you?
Huge.
Yeah. What do you like?
My most expensive bottle is Santa Margarita, 2024.
Nice.
Pinot Grigio. I think it's $24.99.
At Costco.
I could buy it by the case. Yep.
You
So
like
I have-
wine, though?
No.
No?
No. But I'll drink it. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. But as I got older,
Oh, this
it's
cork smells nice.
obviously the
Tequila?
cheaper the wine,
Yeah.
the more of a
cork
headache you have the
smells
next day.
nice.
Oh,
So
big
I think
time.
that's what it is.
Tequila, vodka, what do you like?
I like
Scotch?
Like I said, Tito's.
Tito's.
Yes, and that's why I thought I was coming. He fooled me. He said Tito with Vito, and now we're here with Vino, and now I have to drink wine.
No, that's
look,
messed up.
It's Vino with Vito, and I even got you a nice shirt,
Ah,
Mark.
that is
Just do me a
beautiful.
favor. Don't wear that in the Fairfield Park.
Fairfield
'Cause,
Park.
Yeah, squirrels will come after you.
Okay.
That smells homemade.
It does. But it had a top on there and everything. I hope it's a Justin.
All right.
No, Justin's actually a good wine. I don't think we've ever brought one of these on the show before.
No? First one?
You got to teach me how to do the little
The swirl.
swirl.
He's got to show you that.
Okay.
He's the connoisseur.
All right.
Look at that color.
Wow. I smell the aroma of plums, pine trees,
Pine trees.
little oak.
Some real estate. Sheriff
There we
sales.
go, boys. Well,
Cheers.
Cheers.
Salute.
Oh, you got that. The
Look at
glasses
that,
too.
huh?
Man, you
Vino
go all
with
out.
Vito.
What?
Not my favorite, but
Good. I like
what do you
it.
think?
Actually, that tastes good to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, it's very good. You don't
Not
like
too
it?
sweet.
I
Not
like the Italian reds. I'll be honest with you.
All right, so next time bring an Italian red. You know
I
you're
actually
supposed to
think I
bring
got
the
one,
wine.
actually.
Now you just screwed yourself. See what happens? Now
late.
you have to bring the wine.
So Vito, what is Mark? Right?
Yes.
What does Mark do?
Mark, what do you
ahead.
do? Come on, you
Right
tell
now,
us.
what do I do?
What do you do?
I am a slumlord. No, I'm just joking. I'm a landlord.
Okay.
I flip real estate.
Nice.
But I am an open book, and I will tell you from my experience only. So I think we should put like a disclaimer on this video. This is
Absolutely.
from my experience.
Experience
These
only.
are not everyone's experiences.
Sure.
But because I am the worst landlord probably in New Jersey, I could tell people what not to do based on my experience.
And what to do? Yeah.
I still don't know what to do. I've been in there for 10 years because I still go through the same problems. My problem is, I'm not sure if it's a problem, but I'm a human first and a businessman second.
There you go, and that's what I like about.
So if
Mark.
you're late
Mark
on the
is-
rent, it's all good.
Listen, I wasn't born on top of a hill in Short Hills, you know, in a mansion. Not saying like I didn't have it like rough or anything like that, but I feel for people.
Yeah.
Like 10 years ago when I bought houses for cheap, I haven't raised rent because I always said, if as long as I'm good, you're good. I'm not going to raise rent. $100 raising rent for this guy who works paycheck to paycheck in 2015, $100 to me is not going to make me or break me, but it might break him. It might make him homeless. And that's a problem as a businessman, right?
Right.
So that's why I'm not a good landlord.
Yeah.
You have to separate business and people. And I have a problem with that because I feel for
You feel
people.
for it, yeah.
Right. And I've heard it all. You know how many times somebody's cousin died and they had to pay for a coffin
Yeah.
on the same tenant? Like, how many cousins do you have?
You just gotta make sure the same mother doesn't die 4 times.
Seriously, right? But so I go on like I rather trust you and be disappointed and you lied to me, rather than go on living and not trust you. Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you have any rentals available?
I have a beautiful 2-bedroom in Irvington
Nice.
for you.
Irvington?
$800 a month though.
Not my style, but all right.
Yeah, my car don't go there.
So what do you have? You have like 2s and 4s or bigger than that? Like
No,
actual
I don't.
commercial?
Yeah, no, I have no commercial. I have 2s and 3s.
2s and
mostly.
3s.
Yes, and like 2 singles. So I have like
Nice.
29, maybe 27 legal doors.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow, look at that. I didn't even know that.
No?
Mark. No, I knew that.
Oh, okay. Right.
But
But
no.
none of them are over
Yeah.
$1,800
a month.
I
How
mean,
much like price per door would you say for your multifamily?
how much did I spend, or how
No,
much?
how much the valuation of them? Like $350 a door, under $200 a door.
So most of my properties are in East Orange, Newark, Irvington. So it's about
Like your 150ish, 180.
like 200 a door.
200,
now.
yeah.
You
That's
would
up
be,
there.
You wouldn't believe how these prices
Oh, no, I
have
know.
gone.
It's-
I mean, they're through the
and
roof.
that's I am no doomsday guy at all. But like I said, 2014, 15 when I started, right? These
Yeah.
guys were paying $800, $900 in rent,
Right.
And they're living paycheck to paycheck.
paycheck.
Has the salary gone up that much?
No. That's
Right.
why it's great to own real estate.
Right, and the rent has been crazy. So
Yeah.
what's going to happen? And it used to be like, you raise rent, they leave, and they go somewhere, I guess, more urban, right? There is no, like South 18th Street in Newark. You still get $2,800
Yeah.
Yeah,
for rent,
yeah,
and it's like,
But
what
isn't
is
it
it?
crazy that the places with rent control have the highest rents?
Why, for Section 8, you mean?
It's just across the board.
Across the board.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yes, and I have a Section 8 tenant that I bought with, she was in the property when
Yeah.
I bought it. So you can only raise it by 2% a year. So I bought it 2017, 7 years, and I went from like 1,400, and now she's at 1,600.
And she's responsible for how much?
About half.
Half, really.
But some Section 8, though, they're not responsible for any. There's some
Not
Section
often,
8.
though.
Yeah, I've had a few of those where
Well,
they
then-
actually wanted a rent and they had the voucher for the whole thing.
Yeah, you'll get that. But
Oh,
not
the
all
voucher
time.
for the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, where the tenant's not. Oh, yeah,
where the
absolutely.
tenant's not paying a dime out
right.
of their pocket.
Right.
What do you like better, the Section 8 tenants or normal tenants?
You know what? Section 8 has a bad like stigma to it,
But it's,
Right.
Yeah.
It's the best.
especially because of COVID.
Yeah.
Right. I still had to pay property taxes and my mortgage for my houses. I got ladies that still owe me rent. $30,000. I couldn't do anything about it, but I had to pay my property tax.
Yeah.
And I couldn't like shut off the electric, shut off the water. Not like I would do that, but you didn't pay me anything. And I tried to help everybody, but it was just like,
It's hard.
it's very hard. And Section 8 still paid every month.
Now, do those tenants that owe you complain about the property at all?
Of course.
So how crazy is that?
Yes. Yes.
That
So-
would drive me insane.
It does drive me insane. And they have, I don't want to stereotype anybody. Everyone's different. I'm 47. And what I learned through my life is I never judge anybody because you have no clue what's going on out there. Right? But I get text at 5 o'clock in the morning. My toilet won't flush. Like, you can't wait till 10 a.m.? Like, you have to bother me now? And it's just, and you think that people live in this apartment, right? So they would take care of it because they live there.
Nope.
They don't care.
They don't
They
care.
don't care.
But they've been there for like 8, 9 years.
Yeah.
But they just don't. It's not as easy as they made it seem on TV. Let me tell you that. Passive income is not passive income when it comes to real estate.
You have investors or just straight out?
No,
Just you? Nice.
just me. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I started with a company that showed me like the ropes
Yeah.
for like auctions and sheriff sales, and then I went on my own.
Cool.
Yeah. I was into real estate because, again, with my age, I watched, I don't know if you remember Flip This House, Connecticut, I
Yeah.
believe it was, with the fortune builder guys, you know? And they showed like some truths, like it was difficult. But yeah, it's,
Yeah, but a lot of people out there though, they think it's easy. You know,
think
they
it's
watch
one, two, or three.
HGTV.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
I'm going
30
to buy
days,
a
they make
house,
300,000.
1,000. Yeah, okay.
I can't get a permit, you know, in 30 days.
days. Oh yeah,
Right.
And then good luck when you get that permit, and then they come and they look at the house and they're like, you know what? I'm not. You're not ready. I'm gonna come back. Then it's 2-3 weeks later, and it
exactly.
just keeps going and going and going. And that brings me to a point too, where you got a lot of people that are starting out and they're borrowing hard money, right? So now
For a house flipper or
11%
for multi?
for house flippers.
House flippers, right?
Okay.
Yep.
Borrowing 11%, 1.2 points, whatever, minimum of 6 months, but you got a year balloon, whatever. Now go pull a permit,
Right.
right?
Yeah. There goes
Okay.
2 months, right, of interest.
Right. Now all of a sudden you're borrowing, say, $500,000, right?
Tick tock.
Tick tock, 60 grand
All right.
that you got to pay back,
Yep.
okay? And you're not making
The turnaround time.
the turnaround time is not there.
New Jersey sucks.
Right.
Yes.
Sucks.
And everything's gone up. Price of building materials, this,
Everything.
and that,
Right.
everything. Every
You know how
time
many flips
turn
I
around.
did that the hard money lender made more than I did?
Yeah, of course. It's a
With
great business.
no,
Yeah.
you know, no skin in the game at all. Like,
No.
I know a guy. He's actually a year or two older than me.
so he's 20.
He's approaching 30, and he makes a fortune just doing loans, construction loans, hard money.
Right.
When I say fortune, I mean like fortune. Him and his partner, they're one of the largest lenders out there.
But
No
it-
names, but I.
Dennis Bucha.
Okay.
Yeah, good guy, Dennis.
But it's insane though, man, and that's how people get hurt. And
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
that's why people always come up to me and say, "Hey, I want to flip a house." Okay, do you have the cash to flip the house? No, but
Right.
I can borrow hard money.
Right.
Okay, and you lay everything out for them, and they're like, "Really?
Right.
That's what it takes?
Right.
Oh, okay, I can lose it." And the other thing I've
And
noticed,
you work for the government.
yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
much. Yep.
The other thing I've noticed, Mark, and I'm sure you've noticed it too, is you're seeing a lot of foreclosures that are hard money lenders
Yep.
foreclosing on the people.
Yep.
What does that go to show
Right.
you?
And the defendant's an LLC.
Right.
The house address LLC.
See.
Right. They
Right.
took out the construction money. Oh, I bought a house for 200. I'm going to sell it for 400. Right. After everything, they break even. I'm like, oh, this is not a good deal.
Yeah,
Right.
if they're luckier, they're
lucky.
going to lose money.
What do you like better? What side?
As far as
So real estate wise, flipping or buying and holding?
neither. If I'm honest. Yes, I am. Listen.
So Mark
Neither,
hates
no.
his life, basically.
So I'll be totally, I'm an open book, like I said. So I'm totally honest. Like, so I came from Wall Street, and the greatest thing about Wall Street was whatever
money.
I made, well, besides that, but that's another line I love. That money is not the root of all evil, greed is.
Yeah.
Right? So, yes, I made money, but the good thing about Wall Street was whatever I said, and whatever I bought and whatever I sold, it was my decision, right? If I lost money, it's on me. If I made money, it's on me. Nobody else's fault. With real estate, there are so variables and so many moving parts, and then you have to get an inspector. Did somebody pee in his coffee cup in the morning? I don't know. Why is he taking out his anger on me? Why? I once had a rental where I got failed because the stovetop wasn't clean enough. It was shinier, and I could see my reflection in it. But I failed because I had a little piece of like dirt in there for a rental.
That sucks.
Like, is that my fault? I don't know. But that's why I just, it's a different ballgame. Absolutely different
Especially in
ballgame.
this area, it's hard.
Oh, yeah.
And New Jersey's very tenant.
And the environmental laws, I mean, some things have to change to make it incentivized for builders to build. And
Oh yeah, for flippers to flip. Like
Yeah.
I went to I met an inspector at a house. The guys were working. I just happened to be there, and I pull up, and the inspector pulls up. Right. So I said to him, I said, "Hey, how you doing? How are you? You know, this and that, and whatever."
Yeah. One of
I go,
those.
which inspector are you? He goes, electrical inspector. I'm not going to say any towns or anything, but electrical inspector. We're walking. Wow, what a beautiful day today. It was a nice day. It was sunny.
Yep.
Goes in, right?
I try that move.
Yeah. But no, walks into the property, right? Where are the plans? Right there. Goes in the other thing, walks in. How come this is it? I go, now the electrician was there because he had to be there with him.
Right.
So I asked him a question too. I said, but who are you? He goes, and I said, we just happen to be here or whatever, you know, one of the owners of the property, whatever.
Wow.
He goes, do me a favor, go outside. He goes, I'm only talking to him and he can tell you what's going on.
What does our one friend say about inspectors?
They were bullied in high school, and they're taking out on
Well, that
everybody
too.
who's flipping.
They're failed business people. They didn't make it. And they got their inspector's license. They went out.
It's just-
but the nerve of the guy throwing me
Right.
out of my own house.
That's crazy. That's what I'm
Right?
saying.
And you can't say anything because if
No.
you said something back,
Oh,
good
yeah.
luck finishing that house.
Oh yeah. And he left, and
It's
then it took
crazy.
a while to even get get him back there again. And
Yeah.
thank God, we
Yes,
passed.
it's
or
a power
whatever.
trip, and
it is a power
There were
trip.
so many personalities in this game or business, whatever you want to call it.
Tenants, inspectors,
Everything. Then you have judges. Then you have
contractors.
attorney. Don't even get me started about contractors. Oh man, I'll be there Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's Friday 3 p.m. Where are you? And it's
It's hard.
And like you said, it's contractors that you constantly use. You pay them.
You would think that
they would come
show up.
and show up, but they don't care.
What's one of your craziest tenant stories? Give us one.
let me go through my my
Rolodex.
book here in chapter 7. No. I guess during COVID, I had a tenant didn't pay me for 2 years
Oh my, 2 years.
because that was how long COVID was, and
Holy shit.
you couldn't get anybody out. You couldn't evict anybody during
Yeah.
COVID, and I didn't want to. Like I know, right? I know what you're going through, but she was still working. She was I forgot what they called it during the time. She had to work during COVID. I forgot what it was called. And there was it's called DCA in New Jersey, where you get help with rent if you're falling behind. And I said, here. I gave her the website. I gave her the link. Fill this out for me. I said, I can't. I don't have your social. I don't want to fill it out for you, but I'm trying to help you. Talk to me. Tell me what you could afford, and we'll just move on from here. Ignored me, right, for about 1.5 years, right? And again, I'm not stereotyping people. I don't want to say anything. I got a text, and it said, well, actually, I said to her, I said, listen, it's been about 2 years. I was like, we have to do something here. Like, I know you think I live on top of a hill, and I just have a money tree in my backyard, but I have a family I have to,
Support.
right. She said, the white man always hold me down.
Imagine.
And I was like, and it was not even about race or anything, but I always tried to help her, regardless of race or anything.
Yeah.
But like, so that's why you never know with these tenants. You could do as much backgrounds, checks.
You just never know.
You just never know.
Yeah.
And I tried to help, and I really did. And you think I'm going to see any of that money that she owes me?
No, never.
No, never. It's
She's
not
still
even
in the
worth.
house?
Oh no! I actually got her out.
Yeah.
I had to file the whole eviction. I had to get a sheriff there, and we had to break into my own apartment because the son was sleeping at 11 a.m. on a Thursday during an eviction.
Yeah. What was your turnover for that unit? Did it take you a while to find a new tenant?
No.
Pretty quick?
Pretty quick.
That's awesome.
But, yeah, but 2.5 years. I got to paint. I got to clean.
Yep.
Right. People don't. They just
No one
think,
sees
oh yeah,
that.
we'll just get this check every month and this check every month, and I make $500 a month. Woohoo! Passive income.
Yeah.
And then you could get a property manager, right? Oh, maybe that will help.
Yeah, 5%, 10%.
It's more
It works for the bigger stuff.
bigger stuff, correct? Yeah, for like 2s and 3s. I mean, again, this is
If
only
you have
my
a-
experience.
If you have a 2 and one person moves out, your occupancy just went down
You're
half.
down 50%.
right, exactly.
And
so
a lot of
luckily,
managers, you're not going to find a good manager that's going to take on.
He's not going
a 2
to.
and, right. So that's my problem.
He's
Again,
not
my
going to answer
experience.
at 5 in the morning that the ladies' toilet doesn't flush. you know?
Right. So I feel like I'm doing more management of my property manager than my property manager is doing of the tenants.
Would you roll them up?
What do you mean?
Sell them as one? All 27?
Are we trying to make a deal here? Do you have a contract?
Let's do a 1031. Let's do a 1031.
What is?
Where'd you bring me?
Yeah. You know how many times I thought about that? Just selling
Should.
everything.
Do a 1031.
Right.
Get something bigger.
I
but
thought about it, but it's just like the only reason I hold my rentals is because I bought them so cheap.
Cheap.
What
Yeah.
what gets me?
How'd
in
you
this-
do it? How'd you get them so cheap?
You know what? timing.
Yeah.
Timing is everything. Absolutely.
So you said 15.
2015,
was when you started?
2016. Yeah. Well, I started 2014, but we were, again, I just got into real estate, so I didn't know the ins and outs, and we were signing most of our stuff. So it was like make a quick buck.
Yeah.
The real wealth, as you know, is made from
Holding.
holding.
Yeah. Big time.
Could have, would have, should have.
Should've.
Should have held everything.
You're still young, so.
Yeah, I'm almost your age, 22, right?
I know a guy, we were having a discussion today that does what you do, and we're like, why didn't you hold all these properties? He goes, why are you depressing me?
Right.
You know?
Well, a lot of times is you can't because you got to roll it over into the next
Right.
one. Like big developers, people think, oh, they do make a lot of money, but you build something for 15,
Right.
our business is developing. So it's either you could afford to hold it,
Right.
or we got to go to the next one.
Right. And there's a lot of
So-
moving parts in that, too. I'm finally doing, like, new constructions. It
Yeah.
takes a year to knock down a building and get this permit and go before
That's
the board.
worst
And it's
part
like,
about this area.
right, you don't know, like, all this stuff. I mean, again, with TV, they make it seem so, like,
Yeah.
piece of cake.
Overnight, there's a new kitchen.
Right. Like, oh, my God. Right. Like, how do you...
With the
how do you-
granite
They
right.
find a great crew of guys that come in at 3 o'clock in the
Oh,
morning.
right, sure. We'll be here for 24 hours. No problem. Yeah, just pay me minimum wage, and we'll be there on time. I offer my contractor double, and he still doesn't show
Show
up on
up.
time. I mean, it's just...
Oh, man.
Yeah, it is. It's a crazy business.
It is absolutely.
Yeah.
And I thought I was crazy enough to tackle this business, but it's just... You can't control other people. That's the
You
point.
can't.
Right.
No, you can't.
Right.
Speaking about during COVID, right, with the rents,
Right.
a guy moved in to a brand new apartment on the second floor, right? So the first month, I think he paid, then COVID hit, right? The tenant downstairs was foreclosed upon, but she was living there and wanted to pay rent to these people, right?
Okay.
So the tenant downstairs during COVID would call, I have your rent, whatever. The tenant upstairs, he sends a text over. He goes, the government told me not to pay rent.
I think I still have that text from that
Yeah.
same lady. The government told me not to pay
rent.
That's not what the government said.
And they can help you too,
Right.
if you want. I said, wait a minute, the government can help me, and they told you not to pay rent.
Right.
And that's when I went to the same thing. Do you have a job?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm working less hours.
Essential work. That's what it was. Right.
He goes, I'm
Oh, yeah.
working less hours. I go, all right, tell your landlord, your boss, to write a letter and
Show me.
Show me.
That's it.
Okay, no problem. Never got the letter, never
course
not. And I said, you know what? When COVID and who knew it would last that long?
Right.
I go, you're going to be the first one out. Trust me.
Right.
Well, the next month he actually paid though.
Did. Right.
Tenants are nuts. Tenants are crazy.
They are nuts, and it's like you want to trust in people and
Yeah.
think they have the best,
They take
intention.
advantage, yeah.
And yes,
And
yes.
especially a nice guy like you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, man. Are you trying to sell me a shirt? Is that what's going on here?
So how'd you guys meet?
We just happened to meet at trying to buy a house together.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Upsell.
Yeah.
Pretty
we
much.
were bidding against each other. He
how
outbid me
cute.
by 50,000. So
How cute.
right. At least I got a glass of wine out of it. You know.
He finally got a glass of wine out of it.
Where do you like doing your flips? Anywhere, or do you have a specific area?
Well,
you
I'm
like?
from Union County, so
Union?
yeah.
So you know that inside and out.
Yeah, I know the area well. Like,
Yeah.
if I were to go to Passaic or another county or something, I don't know that area well enough to do it.
Yeah.
Not saying I wouldn't do it.
Do you
But-
check out the property beforehand, or you just go in pretty much blind, or just
I can't
rip it?
reveal all my secrets. But yes. I mean, the one thing that's probably obvious, like you can't go into a property and
Yeah.
go on your phone and go to Google and the picture is from a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot can happen in a year.
A lot.
A lot can happen in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot can happen in 24 hours, you know?
Yes.
But yeah, when you go look at these properties sometimes and, people are out there sitting on the porch with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Hey, come and take a look inside,
Excuse me, fellas, do you mind if I take a look inside?
The one thing that's really sad though about the flipping is a lot of owners don't understand the situations that they're in. And that's
Absolutely.
that's the sad part.
That is the sad part.
Like they're just not educated.
Right.
And you see it obviously all the time.
Right. You go to a house and I knock on doors and again, my first interest should be my business and making money.
Yeah.
Right. So when I'm approaching a homeowner that's in foreclosure, right, my first interest like they have a sheriff's sale that day,
Yeah.
and they get adjournments, right? They don't know about it, and I knock on the door, and the first thing that comes out of my mouth is like, "Oh my God, you didn't do an adjournment. Call this number, go down there,
And
spend
Right.
the money,
It's
and
$26
adjourn it."
and
I shouldn't be
adjourn it.
doing that as a businessman,
Yeah.
because my intention should
But
be
you have a good heart.
right. I'm not trying to. What was that?
No, but I'm
Yeah.
the same. I'm the same way.
Right,
You know,
and I
you
feel
and
bad,
and
but
that's why we
why-
get along. You
Right.
know?
And I'm like, I want to help you. Like, I'd rather, I don't know. I try to treat people like if somebody's going to knock on my door, and if I was for foreclosure.
Yeah.
Like how
Or it's your mom or somebody.
Right, exactly. Right. And some of these, they're just stubborn and they don't, oh, no, I have an attorney. Well, your attorney does, pumpkins on the side. And now he's a real estate guy. I mean, I don't understand. Like, he's
does
not.
pumpkins.
Right. Like, I've been doing this for 10 years and I'm not trying to be cocky, but I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen. And I've been so many homeowners.
You can't help
no,
that,
you don't
though.
know, you don't know. And then all of a sudden I get a call at 4:00 after the sale. You were right.
Of course.
You can't help that. You can only do so much.
And then the guy that just bought it's going like this.
Right.
Let me in.
Yes.
Let me in.
Yep. You
Let
have
me
30
in.
days. And again, homeowners don't know.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I got a letter. I have to be out by the 20th. And it's like the 13th. I'm like,
Yeah.
they can't do that either.
They can't do
know?
that either.
But
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't know.
They have
see
no
a
clue.
letter.
I have no clue. And I don't remember if I ever told this story though. But there was a homeowner right in a town. I'm not going to mention the town, and they were getting foreclosed on. Same
Right.
thing. They were about maybe 3 weeks before or
Sale.
whatever the
Okay.
sale. So I'm driving, and the lady's walking in
Or
her
you drive the
driveway.
Ferrari, the BMW, the Corvette.
Well, I sent Vito to pick up my rent in Newark. So.
Vito's pulling up in a bicycle. He's parking it in the driveway. There's no kickstand either. Just puts half on the driveway, half on the grass.
Pee Wee
you
Herman,
gotta,
that's
you
it.
gotta do what you gotta do.
Right.
But I pull in. I asked the lady. I go, "You thinking of selling your house or whatever? How am I gonna break the ice?
Right.
She goes, "No, I'm not selling the house." And then I, got into it. Well, I know you're in trouble or whatever. And she goes, "Oh yeah, it's coming up or whatever." And I did the same thing. I go, "Do you know you have adjournments?"
Right.
What's that?
Yep.
I go, your house is worth a lot more than
What you owe.
what you owe.
Right.
She goes, but, and she kept asking, and then she goes, oh my gosh. She goes, how can you help me? She asked me how I can help you. And I had the same thing. I said, yeah, I'll give you, whatever. But I didn't do that. I said, look,
Right.
you got about $300,000 in equity here.
right.
I said, why don't you do this? I go, I'm also a licensed realtor while we're talking.
Right.
And I said, go do your adjournments and everything. She goes, can you do me a favor? She goes, give me your number. Can I call you? I want you to come back with me and my two daughters and let me know the whole,
Right.
situation.
Right.
But what ended up happening, she was getting foreclosed. She borrowed private money from the owner. Now the owner's older. The
Oh,
kid
shit.
the kid now is taking over right away, trying to foreclose or whatever. So
right.
we ended up. I put the house on the market. I had her do the adjournments. As soon as the person foreclosing saw the for sale sign on the lawn, called her and
Right.
wanted to help her now.
Oh,
Before
sure.
she didn't want anything to do it.
Right.
She goes, "Oh, I'll give you, whatever." And,
Right.
and she goes, "What should I do?" I said, "Tell her, don't
Right.
tell her, don't bother me anymore."
Right.
Now you got 2.5 months.
Yep.
So we put the house on the market, Chris.
And you get your money.
She got
it's
her
not
money.
taught in school. It's
No,
like it's sad. It's,
she ended
is.
up walking away with $300K.
Right.
yeah.
300K.
She had no idea.
She had no
Right.
idea.
Especially in this market. Like, the
Yeah.
prices have only gone up. And I see,
Yeah.
we see it, a ton of stuff. With,
Right. She was
Why
like,
don't you
"Oh,
just sell your house for cash?
yeah,
Like, get out of the
yeah,
foreclosure process." But
yeah.
just people don't know.
She was like, "Oh, you're an angel," But I said, "Look, I'm just trying to help you." I
Right.
said I could have went the other way and said, "Look," and I told her, if it doesn't sell, get your attorney, whatever.
Right.
And she had an attorney that did nothing for her, like you said.
Right.
I go, if it doesn't sell, I'll buy it, but I'm not going to give you that kind of money.
Right,
But
right.
try to do it that way first.
Give you
At least
$50,000.
you can walk away. I would have gave her 100, but
Come on.
100
All
for
right,
300 or whatever. And it ended up, the person that bought it, there were multiple offers. Person that bought it let her stay there rent free for a month until she found sign
Right.
and to move sign. But you're right, people don't know.
They have no idea.
They
No idea.
have no idea.
No clue.
And then, people like us trying to help, we want to help them. And some of them don't want help.
Well, because
Because you're stubborn.
There's a
They're in that
stubborn-
situation for a reason.
Stubborn, yes, absolutely. Number one. Number two is probably the stigma that we get.
Yeah,
They're just looking
100%.
for the money. They aren't trying to help me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And there's nothing you could do about that.
Yeah, there's
Unfortunately.
nothing.
Right.
I have more sympathy with like the house flipping side of that, less than the tenant side. Like if you don't pay your rent,
Right.
rather that you don't know that your house is getting
Oh,
foreclosed.
sorry. Yeah.
Same-
Absolutely.
yeah.
Right. You know your rent's due on the first.
Yeah, or
Right.
whatever it is.
I mean, whatever's happening. Like, oh, I got one time. It was my birthday. Can I pay you in 2 weeks? You didn't know it was your birthday coming up? Like, what does that have to do with?
Has
like, it's
nothing to
just
do with
like,
it.
It's literally. I could have like 5 chapters in my book of just text from
Text from-
tenants.
So out of 27 units, like you get calls and texts every single day.
Yeah, about.
About, yeah.
I'd say yeah. Some on a different degree than others, but
Yeah.
yes, yeah. Unfortunately.
It's easy being a landlord.
Absolutely.
It's easy flipping
Right.
houses.
Right.
It's easy.
The
you know.
easiest thing I could think of to compare it to is if you're a homeowner and you think about how much stuff that you have to deal with as a homeowner on a single family. Imagine having, I don't know, 12 more of those with
a lot.
people that don't care about the house.
Yeah.
You care about your own home, right?
Right, right.
And you still have to deal with nonstop headaches, right? My garage door just broke the other day, right? Like, imagine 12 more of those, and then a toilet, and then a hot water heater. And it's just like,
Do you have any tenants that like kill the place once they leave, or
destroyed the place. No, not really. Thank God.
that's good.
Yeah, I got bitten by dogs. I've got absolutely. I mean,
Now you know why I don't like dogs.
right. Yeah.
And squirrels.
And squirrels, right.
Forget
Wow, you
this.
got bit by a squirrel. Wow, okay.
No, they come after. They just come after me. The squirrels.
What's your prediction right now
For the market?
for the market? New president.
Well,
Rates.
if I could go back like a week, I would have just bought a bunch of Dogecoin, right?
Yeah, Dogecoin.
Dogecoin, like Elon Musk, best friends with Donald Trump. Like it makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who knows? You know.
I can't see the real estate going down. To be honest,
Yeah.
I can't see it going up anymore. However, even if it went down, what 10%, even 20%.
Yeah.
Think about how much it went up in the last.
Oh, forget it.
Forget it. Doesn't
it's
matter.
just insane.
If you had $500,000, would you put it into multifamily real estate or Bitcoin?
I don't know enough about Bitcoin, to be honest with you.
So real estate.
I'd probably go on vacation. As you can see, I'm not a huge fan of real estate, even though, yes, listen,
That's my business.
Even though that's my business, and I did very well because, again, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, right?
Yeah.
And I got in
absolutely
at a
right.
time that was foreclosures were huge. Money wasn't being lent in certain areas, and
Yeah.
I was getting stuff for, I bought a 2-family for
Yeah.
$15,000.
Yeah, pennies on the dollar.
Wow.
And nobody
Wow.
wanted it more than $15,000 against me.
That's awesome.
Right. And now, if I could go back in time, I would have bought 30 of those.
Yeah.
Then now I'd really be on vacation.
Yeah.
I remember back in like 09, right? 09, 10, when everything hit
When everything,
the fan.
yeah, hit the fan, right.
I remember in towns, they were selling for like $5,000. My nephew,
smaller stuff,
the
yeah.
smaller stuff. My nephew, no, but they were multifamilies in like
Right.
urban areas, right?
Right.
So my nephew's like, let's buy them. Some of them were boarded up or whatever.
Absolutely.
I go, what are we gonna do with them? He goes,
Right.
it's $5,000. He goes, well, hold them,
Yes.
and we'll fix them. He goes, it's never gonna
Right. It's not going to go down anymore.
than
Right.
Can't go any
$5,000.
lower.
But
Right.
naturally, you're still paying the taxes or whatever. But imagine those
I know.
$5,000 houses, what they're going for today.
Exactly. Right. That $15,000 house is probably worth $300.
Yeah.
Like, as is.
That's big.
And it's like, if I knew wealth building, and hold it, and, there was the 1% rule back then, you shouldn't pay, your rent should equal 1% of what you pay for the house. That's gone.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, okay, $1,000 in rent for the first floor, $1,000 in rent for the second floor, and I just paid $15,000 for this
For this
house.
house.
Yeah.
I think that's more than 1%.
Yeah, yeah.
I should have kept everything.
I think that's pretty good.
You have bills to pay, and you see the quick buck, and you don't realize.
Yeah.
I don't understand how people are buying 2s and 3s now.
Yeah, it doesn't
at
make any
these
sense.
prices.
That's
in
$350
New
a
Jersey.
door. $700,000 for a 2-family.
Right.
Nothing cash flows. Even for the bigger stuff too.
Oh,
'cause of
yeah.
rates.
And you're right. Nothing does cash flow.
Nothing
But
cash
people are buying them.
Because
Because it's the upside.
it's the appreciation,
value,
and I
yeah.
think a lot of people obviously are coming from New York, and they see, oh, this is a bargain.
It's either you're investing for two reasons: cash flow or appreciation. But if you have both, like you had in that situation, that's a home run.
Right. And that's the only reason I'm holding on to it and dealing with the toilet overflows at 5 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock in the morning.
I always say, like, if I bought now, no way. Get me out of here. I don't know what I would be doing. It wouldn't be this.
Let's go buy something big.
Yeah, let's do it. I like it.
Let's roll them up.
Yeah, let's roll 'em up. Let's buy.
1031 exchange. I'm
Yeah,
going to sell it to Justin.
Yeah,
That's it. I'll give you all my tenants' numbers. Actually, I'll give you.
know
I'll
what,
give
you
you
should
your
hand 'em
numbers
over
of all
to
my
the
tenants.
You
Right?
should, just to show him.
You ever
Because
just
he
build
wants to
them?
do that, you know?
Oh, like the app?
Yeah. You think they're going to do it or no? No.
You think some of my tenants have apps? That's the first assumption. You know what they say about assuming, right?
You make an
But
ass
yes,
out of you.
I like the bigger stuff though.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
It makes much more sense.
Yes. If I could go back in time, I would have bought more new construction. Right.
Yeah.
Again, if I'm getting into real estate and I'm going to be a landlord, I hope I'm like handy. I'm not handy.
Yeah.
I change a fan. I put a hole in the roof. Right. So it's like, can you come unclog a toilet? I'll try. You know, and then I make it worse. You know, the whole sewer line's backed up. So I'm trying to show. I have 2 kids. I'm trying to show my son, like, especially with all this artificial intelligence stuff, right? Plumbing. You know, as
Become
a landlord,
Yeah.
what happens the most? Plumbing. Right?
Yep.
A flood, a toilet, a pipe burst. Plumbing. And I don't
Sewage
think you can
pipes,
replace
yeah.
it. Right? You can't replace plumbing with AI.
No.
No.
Electrical, same. All that
Electrical.
stuff, yeah.
But the problem I see with electrical is you do it like once or twice and then the house is done pretty
There you
much.
go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Unless you
rarely
gotta
get calls
change a
about
fan.
electrical. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that will be another hint if you're a landlord. Don't put fans in your.
Yeah, never do that. Always put a light.
Less is more. So when I first started, I like this color floors and this cabinets, they match well. Mm-hmm. This is not your house.
Yeah.
No.
True.
No.
And it will get beat up, so it does not matter.
No, don't put the granite in. Put formica, you know, and go that route.
All right.
Well, but what do you think of what people are paying now? Like even at auctions and stuff.
Ridiculous.
Isn't it? Isn't it like they're paying retail and you scratch your head and you're saying,
Right.
my gosh, what are they thinking?
Right.
Right?
I have no clue, and I'm dying to know how they're making money. And are you really betting on appreciation? That's your bet,
That's your-
appreciation.
right.
You know what I mean? And you're going to hold it for this long and deal with the headaches, and hopefully break even, and hopefully it appreciates.
You gotta have deep pockets.
Yes. So
But even if you have deep, you're not going to
Pockets,
invest into a single
why-
family.
Right, but why are you going to do that? You know, people are fighting for these houses where they're paying more than retail,
Right.
at auction.
At auction,
and
right.
and Mark will look at me. I'll look at him and be like,
what the?
You guys ever
Who
follow up
was
with those
that?
people and ask like what went on or no?
What? Like the people that bought it?
Yeah. Do you ever check in like 6 months later, like how that property go?
no,
Yeah,
because you
it's
never
usually
see
back
them
at the
again.
auction.
Back at the auction because you never see these people again.
Right.
They're like,
Yeah.
they realize afterwards, what the hell
Whoops.
did I do?
Yeah.
Or I love the ones, Mark, where they're on the phones,
Yeah.
right? A house comes up and they're like,
What's the address again?
what's the address again?
Oh, yeah, that looks good.
Oh, yeah. Just okay. Oh, yeah. Zillow says it's worth 700.
Zillow says
you
it's a
get
one
those people
family.
coming in?
Oh yeah, Zillow says it's a one family.
But
Every
they
house on
Zillow
Zillow
is a one family.
Smoke.
But they
Right.
never go and actually like
Check it
Mark
out.
does or goes and checks them out. And they just bought a house. They have no
clue.
idea, no clue. Because
I had a guy come up to me. He's like, "Yeah, you just bid on something. Was that a 3-family?" I'm like, "You don't even know how many families." I'm like, "I'm not gonna."
That's good for you guys though.
No, because they don't
they
know,
bid
and
it
they
up.
have right. They bid
They
it
put
up.
up the prices.
Yes.
because they have no
I would
idea.
walk
They-
in there one day and just screw your whole entire
they-
Tuesday.
and they're starting to look at, they look at Zillow and they're like, well, Mark just bid, so it's got to be worth something, or Vito, it's got to be worth something.
Yeah, the old timers are there bidding, so they must know something.
They must know
You know
something.
how many times that happens? It's like, ugh.
and the charity groups now too, right? Or foundations.
Don't
and
even
shit.
get us started on. You got
Charity group.
We got
Yeah,
a couple hours.
That's another chapter in my book. Yeah.
We got a
The
couple,
fake charity groups.
We
Oh.
got a couple hours for that one.
Oh boy.
We could make a charity.
Yeah, and not for profit. Yeah, and I could pay you, Justin, $300,000 salary, and then you could pay me a bonus at the end of the year, and then we break even.
Perfect.
Yeah,
And we made no profit.
and we make no profit.
Right.
Just the way the senator implemented it.
Implemented
That's it.
Love it.
Love it.
Love it.
But now here, speaking about, since we're getting into that not-for-profit, how much I love talking about that item. It doesn't really bother me, but
All right.
but they made that law to help the owner of
tenant?
the house.
You want to see? It's actually American Water, so I'm sure it is. There's another story, right? I get a call from my own home when I'm like $200 over for American Water. We're going to cut your water. You got to pay this bill, right? Meanwhile, you go to the auction, right? How much is the water bill? $10,000.
Yeah, they don't come.
Like they don't go. Like
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
I just.
Yeah.
Mind-boggling.
People are buying water liens, sewer liens,
Right.
tax liens, whatever lien they can
You
get.
got to pay the water.
And
when you buy
that
the
lien could then take over the
Oh
property.
yeah, that lien goes before the mortgage.
Municipal is before the mortgage.
Did you know that?
Right. So especially in the urban areas where there's flooding in the basement and the water just stays on, you don't realize, especially during COVID, they didn't shut off the water because they don't want to shut off the water for the tenants that didn't pay.
You just let me know. I'll just break into the basement and just throw the water on.
No,
And then our non-for-profit could buy it.
There you go.
But talking about that, I know someone that bought a tax lien off of somebody else. The guy lost his house for like $4,000.
Oh yeah.
He didn't pay the taxes.
Didn't pay the taxes.
Inherited the house.
Yep.
Never paid the taxes. $4,000. Somebody bought it, kept
Yep.
paying the taxes, foreclosed on them, sold the property, sold it again,
Jeez.
and whoever it's like here, pass.
crazy.
What do you
Yep.
call that? Pass the
Pass the torch.
pass the
Well,
torch.
the florist in Colwell almost was sold for something like $50,000 during COVID.
Really?
Yeah, you
Liens.
just don't know.
Liens, right? Yeah.
But getting back to the not for profit at the sales, they thought they were doing a good thing, but they need to talk to people like Mark or myself, and hopefully somebody out there will pass this on.
Anyone?
Anybody? But think about it. Somebody is getting foreclosed on their house for, like you said, $50,000, right? All right. You go to the sheriff's sale now. A not for profit could buy that house for $50,000 without anybody bidding. And now they own that house for $50,000. If there's a second mortgage on that, the second mortgage got wiped out, and the not-for-profit bought that
So what
house
happens
for $50,000.
then? That non-for-profit transfers that?
No. So there's
No.
certain restrictions on the
They
not-for-profit.
can't sell it for 30 years.
There's a
they
30-year
can't
deed
do
restriction. They have to
restrictions.
sell
What's
it
the
to.
point?
Well, they can sell it to. So there's a 30-year deed restriction. However, they have to sell it to like a low to median income family, right?
And
but
they
if
can
I'm a
only
low
make a
to median
certain-
income
certain
family,
percentage
right,
on
and
it.
I want to move up, moving on up, right, and I'm moving from this side to this side, right? What do I care about a 30-year deed restriction? I'm getting a house for a little cheaper,
True.
Right.
right? And this not for profit. Remember, they're not making a profit, but they just bought a house for $50,000. That's worth
500,
500,
600,000.
right?
But now the other kicker on that is, right?
Interesting.
So $50,000, no second mortgage, not for profit bought it. If Mark was there, he might have paid $350,000 for that house because the house is worth $600,000, right?
Right.
Maybe 400, whatever. So now $50,000, $350,000, there's a $300,000 surplus, right? You know who would have got that $300 surplus? The owner of that house.
Yep.
Now, guess what they got?
Ungats.
There you go. I was just going to
I didn't
say,
think about that.
Ungats.
Yeah.
Ungats. Yes.
They got nothing.
Nothing.
So guess what?
Whose idea was this?
So it was a senator.
Senator.
No names.
No names.
I was
Cory
on a
Booker?
No,
but close. But I was on a Zoom with her, and I tried to explain, and there's obviously the bill takes a while to come through, and I appreciate what she was doing. Right, she was trying to get home ownership back. Mm-hmm. So the first part of the bill was, if somebody, let's say he's in foreclosure, right, and I'm his cousin. I can go to the sheriff's sale and I have first right of refusal as a cousin, next of kin, and I could buy it for whatever what he owes the bank. The
That's
bank
great
can't.
for you.
The
You
bank
got
can't ask for
100
more,
cousins. Yeah.
right? So
Hey,
let's say
Tony,
he owes
what's up?
$100,000. I could go to the sheriff's sale, no bidding. I'm a next of kin. I could buy it for $100,000. There's certain stipulations. I have to live there for 7 years, whatever. So that was the intention. And then
Who checks that? Like I live
The
there for
sheriff.
7 Yeah.
Yeah, you have to show like you are a next of kin. You have to show that
Bills,
you're approved
yeah.
Right.
of a
but,
mortgage.
But now, on the flip side of that, right? If I only owed $100,000 and Mark's my cousin, hey, Mark, can you help me out? I only owe $100,000 on the house before it gets foreclosed, you know? No, but I'm just saying.
Right.
Maybe, we'll take out a mortgage. Can you help me? We'll do something else.
right.
So people are going to do that before it gets there, if they were going to do it.
Right. Every time there's a new bill or new law, there's always loopholes, right?
Right.
So you know what I'm going to do? I own a house, right? I have a first mortgage that has a lot of, has equity. So I'm going to take out a second mortgage, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to pay the first mortgage, have the second mortgage foreclosed, and I'm going to tell my cousin Vinny in Florida to come move, and we're going to split the house, right? And we're going to buy for upset because the second mortgage is probably on $200,000.
Yeah, there you go. And you just wipe that out.
This guy's smart.
That's what I like about him.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Very smart guy. But yeah, this law was meant to help people, but I think it's actually
Same
screwing.
thing with Kamala Harris's down payment assistance, or what was she passing?
Yeah, $25,000.
$25,000. Yeah,
You know what
go give
$25,000 $25,000 does now?
Nothing.
And you still have it's
You
it's not
got to
like
pay
it's
it
free.
back.
You got to pay it back. Right.
Right, you got to pay it back.
Yeah, more buyers entering the market, but there's no inventory.
Right. And I know she wants to build more houses and more inventory, but still, I mean, houses are still listen, again.
I mean, I forget what town it was. I was driving, and I'm just looking, and they're building
condos?
like thousands and thousands of
Condos,
them. I'm
right?
like, what the hell?
Yep. I
But
drove through-
rentals too.
Yeah. I drove through Harrison
Rental
the other
nation.
day, Garwood, Cranford, Westfield, all of it. Condos. By a train station, they all work in New York. They all could afford it. But where's everybody else
There's
going?
some big ones in Cranford, right by the train.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
I just sold
Rental
a house
nation.
in Cranford.
That's
My
what it is.
generation. we're not
Oh,
gonna be
absolutely.
buying
Oh,
homes.
yeah. My two kids, yeah, they're not going to own a house.
Never.
$3,500 for like a 2-bedroom.
It's cheaper to rent. I said this years ago that it's going to be cheaper to rent than own.
Yep. It's a shame.
It's happening.
Absolutely.
We're already there.
We're already there.
I tell all the old timers when they're selling, and they want to
rent.
downsize and they want to buy another house.
Right.
And I'm like, why would you want to buy another house? Go rent.
Rent in Florida, rent in Jersey, go back and forth.
Right.
Yeah,
That's it.
Just do
Right.
that.
You're not
I mean,
looking to sell it later for
yeah,
appreciation.
you
Right?
should-
You're just-
right. But it's I always
Especially with money
own.
markets where they're at. Invest
They
the money at 6%.
actually money markets went down.
They did go down.
Yeah, they went down after. But here's another topic, right? Think about it. The Fed comes in, cuts a half a point, comes back, cuts a quarter point, right? The interest rates for mortgages went up.
Yeah.
Now, think about the old timers that got money in the bank.
Right.
Their interest rate went down 1%.
Yeah.
So there was a money market out there given, where you could.
5.5, 5.
No, they were actually giving 4.5, but you can take the money anytime you want. It wasn't one of those where you were locked in.
Locked in
Yeah.
for it.
Right.
CD.
So now they're down to 3.5.
Yeah.
So
big difference.
yeah. Meanwhile, your mortgages went from 6 to 7,
Right.
and a little over 7.
Yeah.
I just don't know where it's going, man.
Either do I. Yeah, I mean, you could talk to all the experts. Oh, yeah, it's going
Nobody
this way.
knows.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. But
Yeah.
I think for the urban areas and those people that have to pay $2,800 in rent now that were paying $1,400 6 years ago and living paycheck to paycheck, where are you going to go?
As we
I don't know.
conclude, I have a quick question. So Section 8
Yes.
vouchers, there's a line to get in, right, for Section
Yes.
8?
Yep.
So let's say that scenario plays out and there's a lot more Section 8 tenants that come in. Like, is there like a threshold on Section 8 tenants for a county or a town, or anyone could be Section 8?
I believe anyone could be Section 8, but you have
Gotcha.
to make or not make a certain amount.
a certain amount of money.
Yeah. And that's
Gotcha.
another whole story.
But then for the property, though, it has to be declared as a Section 8 property, right? Or it
No.
could be both.
it could be both. Yeah. You
Really?
could have one tenant as a Section 8, one not.
One
They have to
regular.
come in, they have to inspect it, they have to make
Who's
sure
they?
that
That's a town?
The town.
Yeah, the town, yeah.
You're
And what is
thinking
housing
more
authority
like
of
co-apartments.
What does that look
Yeah.
like?
once a
just-
year.
they
They
come
want to
in
make sure
and-
the smoke detectors are working, the windows could close and lock, the railings are tight, which is actually a good thing.
I was just
I
gonna
don't like
say that.
inspections.
Right. But that
Right,
you
But
want.
those, yeah.
Yes, Section 8 is a lot more. You
Lenient.
don't have the guys that pee in the coffees in the morning, right? They
Yep.
come in, they just want to make sure everything's safe. God forbid something happens.
Now, are they checking for lead paint there too, or no?
Now they are, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, lead
There
paint.
you go.
That's another story I had. I had an autistic kid who ate paint off a window,
Oh, boy.
and it was lead.
Cha-ching.
Guess who had to pay for their hotel?
You.
Guess who had to pay for their stay at the hotel? And guess who had to pay for the lead abatement?
And guess who had to pay
Real
for their
estate is
meals?
great. Yes.
I love real estate.
I love real estate. Yes. Fun.
Here comes Mark. I'm like, oh, he probably loves his business.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I hate it.
I
hate
it.
I hate it.
Yeah. You know how many times my wife tells me, sell everything. We'll just start something new. Like, I don't have a 401k, you know?
I know a guy that did that though. He
Sold everything?
He sold everything.
Roll
I
it
think
up.
he had like 50,
Right.
60 like multifamilies, and and he was buying them back then 15,
Units or
20 grand.
properties?
Properties.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And then he just he ended up getting rid of them. Well,
How old is he?
He's younger than me. Younger than me.
I mean, it sounds great.
Yeah.
big-
but
big
again,
tax bill.
But then you have another partner. You
there
have
you
Uncle
go.
Sam.
Right. You have a tax bill, and it's not
1031.
like
Does he
a
have
stock.
sons?
Right. Where you could just sell it.
Does he
Sell it. 300 grand. Okay. Sell it. 400 grand. No. Oh, you have a CO? Oh, you have to get inspected. Oh, you have to do this. Oh, you have to. Yeah. It's not easy.
So now,
That's all I could say.
did that guy have sons?
Why you want
Does
to
he
be a
want one?
son?
No, because that's what they say though. It's like the kids take it over. When your dad has a lot of 1031s and there's a family office,
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, you just keep it going.
Keep rolling.
it's
Right.
like it's like being in the mob. You got to stay in it.
Stay in it, right. Well, that was my whole goal, to give something to my kids. But
Yeah.
you know what? The more I'm in it, I'm like, it's like giving my son, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, you
something
don't
bad.
want-
Like,
yeah,
I
you don't
don't
wanna
know if
do
you
that.
really want this.
My son keeps bugging me. He wants to buy property, So once he gets out of college, we'll do it. Because I didn't do it when I was his age, and I know he wants to do it, and I
Right.
think he'll do good
Well,
at
when
it.
you grow up, you should.
When I grow up, I think that's what
Absolutely.
I'm going to do.
When you get out of college, you
when
should
I get
start
out
it.
of college, I
Yeah.
think
You should be my property manager. Actually.
I should. I can help you out with
Imagine
that.
that him showing up like this.
Right, and a Ferrari. You like my shirt? Where's my $800 rent?
Give me the rent.
That's funny.
Oh man! But you know what I saw today though, that really got me. At an auction, there was some realtor over there
Right.
with a gang of about 15, 20 people sitting there trying to teach them how to buy houses
At these auctions,
at these auctions.
where there's one house that goes now every week.
It was one
That's-
house. One
Sign
house.
me up for that.
One house.
crazy.
And I'm sure these people are paying this guy
Oh,
good
huge
money,
money.
right?
It's more money in that.
Right.
More money in that.
I think I'm going to be a teacher. What do you think?
you should.
Could
Why
I
not?
be a teacher?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'll be your TA.
All right. I didn't go to college though, but I can still get my certificate,
Why not?
my GED.
You're a teacher right
You
now.
you believe in college now?
No.
Or no. No. Right.
No, if you're gonna be like a doctor, lawyer, attorney,
Yes.
accountant,
Exactly. Exactly.
you're
It's all
gonna
about
need
who
it.
you know.
YouTube is a special thing.
YouTube. Well, even before
Chat
when I
GPT.
graduated college, it was before YouTube, and somebody got me a job on Wall Street. I was happier than a pig in shit.
What were you doing on Wall Street?
Trader.
Trader?
Well, my official term was a market maker.
Commodities or like?
ETFs, exchange traded funds. Yes,
Nice.
on the floor.
Did you like it? Loved
Do you
it.
see how jittery I am? That's the way I'm on the floor. Like I can't sit still.
That's awesome.
That's why I do these auctions, because I want to know what I bought now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk to you for a year before I get the property. But I loved it. Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing you don't know, Wizard, okay?
The wizard.
The Wizard.
You have a movie coming out, right? Wicked?
Yeah.
Mark, tell them when you got somebody, a homeowner, right?
Right.
And you just bought their property and they don't want to move. What do you have to do sometimes to help them move? What do you have to give them
Pay him.
Oh, at an auction, if you bought?
if you bought at an auction?
Oh, you got to store their stuff for 30 days at least if they don't want to move. But then you got to file a thing that will take a couple months. And then you have to sweeten the pot, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, pay him. Yeah. I had a tenant that didn't pay me for 6 months, and we went to court. And I still had to pay her to get out of my apartment. 6
Sure.
months.
I
And
saw.
you paid her.
I paid her.
Hey, it's great being a landlord,
Love
everybody.
it. Piece of cake.
I saw a guy down south. He had like a 3 family, put snakes
So,
in the unit.
He
Right.
put snakes in
Snakes,
there.
Yeah, got him right out.
nice.
Man.
Yeah, so I seen pit bulls in certain units, and again, you're not allowed to do that. Like, I can't go and turn off the water. It sounds great. Like, I'm so angry. Who's going to get arrested? I am. You didn't pay me rent, but I turn off the water, I'll get arrested. All right.
But some
New Jersey.
But,
Love it.
Yeah, but sometimes these towns now too, though, they're turning off the water if you're so far, behind.
Right.
Some
But-
counties are good.
Yeah.
Right, but if they turn off the water and I'm a landlord, I'm responsible for the water.
Right, right.
They can't turn it off if there's a tenant.
No,
because it's not their fault.
It's not their fault. But I'm saying if
Right.
it's like a single family
Oh,
home,
yeah, absolutely.
and even though they got foreclosed or whatever, the town can shut the water off.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, you don't have to worry about, the toilet overflowing anymore, Mark, or,
Right.
getting that 5 o'clock call or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
They got no water.
Yeah, God forbid you buy a house with an angry homeowner who decides to pour cement down their toilet and flush it. I mean, that's what I heard, through this real estate game. That could happen. Right. You never want to, buy something, that somebody's living in there that's bitter,
Yeah, that's for sure.
But that's why, like you said, you're a good guy. I'm a good guy. Sometimes you got to talk to these people.
Yeah,
Like human
Sweeten
beings.
up the
Human
the
beings,
pot,
yes. Yeah, my wife always tells me too. She's like, I don't want to make you change your human nature. I don't want this to be a stigma where you can't trust anybody. Like real estate is, like I said, Wall Street, I could trust all these guys. What I said, I said. What you said. Real estate, I known a guy for 10 years, looked me right in my eye, and lied right to my face.
Yeah.
10 years. Like nothing.
Yeah.
Like nothing. And it's just like,
Or-
another one.
Yeah. Or you think you got friends that when you're buying a house and you're
sure.
going against each other. Don't worry, Mario. Yeah. 500, 501,
Right.
502.
What happened? We just
502.
talked, right.
And we were just talking.
Right.
You said
Nope.
you didn't want that house.
Right.
You
That's
got
the way she
no
goes.
friends.
Yeah.
You got no friends.
You got no friends. Well,
Mark,
just
got
us
Mark
two.
as a
Yeah.
friend.
No, it's
I'm
just
your
me
friend.
and Mark. We're friends.
You know what? I'm most happy with today? I got a new friend.
You got a new friend.
Wizard.
The wizard.
Wizard.
The wizard.
I don't know where this name came
I don't
from.
know either.
The wizard.
But I tell you what though, you know what? It's hard out there. It's not as easy as everybody says. With the prices still going up all the time, it's like you don't know. You
Right.
know.
And a lot of people got lucky too. Like,
Yeah.
they just started going into this flipping business. And they made money because the market just kept going up. Like wait till it goes
Back down. You know what another crazy thing, right? Another crazy story. You know how much I don't like telling stories, right? But there's a house that just went on the market, right? And I'm on the MLS and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, wow, this house was getting foreclosed 7 years ago. They were upside down on the mortgage, right? 7 years ago. And I don't know how they still stayed in the house for 7 years, but people can actually still do that.
Right.
They put the house on the market now. It's got so much equity in it from 7 years ago.
Yeah.
They're not upside down anymore.
Yeah.
These
They're right
people,
side up. Yeah.
they're right side up. They're gonna. It's over $1 million.
Wow.
These people are gonna walk away with
Yeah.
over 500 grand.
Crazy.
Who the hell would have known that?
right. Yeah.
You know?
Thank you, New York City.
Yeah. Meanwhile, if they got foreclosed, 7 years ago,
Right.
no, and they lived in that house for 7 years without paying the
Yeah,
mortgage.
no
rent
mortgage.
free.
Yeah. That's why they say if you can't afford the mortgage, don't pay a little bit. Pay nothing.
Yeah.
Because you're still going to get foreclosed on.
Yeah. True. True.
So that's what I'm going to do soon. If this
But,
not-for-profit still goes up.
But I know another guy that did.
This should be his own tenant.
I text myself in the morning. My fucking,
not even gonna pay himself.
excuse my French, my toilet's clogged up. Come over here now. Go F yourself. That's where I'm actually heading, I think. Actually. You know what? I might be going to like a psych ward soon. So it's been like 10
his own check.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Mark.
Do you mind if I pay you? Do you mind if I pay you 3 weeks late, Mark? It's my birthday. No problem. All right. The Italians
man.
always trying to hold me down. Oh man.
That is so funny.
Oh man, I love this. I love this.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing this. What do you think,
That's
Mark?
great.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, listen. If you want to go through the other like 10 chapters of my book, absolutely, no problem. But
That's
you
a
know
good
what's
ending.
actually good is knowing that other people are going through kind of the same stuff. You know,
There
like
should be
the
like a
tenants.
landlord like therapy session.
Oh yeah, like landlord for dummies. Like don't buy it.
Yeah.
Maybe or don't rent to these people.
right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What can we do? What business can we open up?
I don't
like,
know.
What kind
Maybe-
of school?
maybe
like
a
a
We're
landlord
gonna roll
school?
27 twos and
27
threes.
units, 1031 exchange, and
Yeah.
we're going to be
Buy
right up
something
there
big.
with Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I'm going after this, actually.
He's next door, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Good thing this is a night podcast.
This one was.
But Mark, what'd you think of this?
Awesome.
All right, good, good. I'm glad.
I mean, the podcast or the wine?
no, both.
Both. All right. Or Wizard.
The Wizard.
The Wizard.
I mean, Wizard's awesome.
The Wizard.
I might take the Wizard home with me. I don't know how my wife's going to feel about that, but the wine, it's all right. Justin, he's okay.
Well, on that note, my wine is done. And
Oh, mine's not. I'll finish it, though.
okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for having me.
It was my pleasure. Thank
My
you for
pleasure.
coming, Mark.
Of course, anytime.
Mark with a C, by the way.
Mark with a C. That's
Mark
right.
with a C.
Don't get it wrong.
And
Justin
on-
with a J.
And on that note, one day, and that day will come, when you need to buy or sell a house. And when that day does come, you need to call Vito Cantuzzi, the godfather of Northern New Jersey real estate.